here at the H.D. Smith Gallery at the Hoagland Center for the Arts, reporting for Worldwide Good News. I am at the book launching for the new book, Emo's Great Story, written by Brendhan Garland. Brendhan is a local 9th grade student who wrote a story because he has a very mystical and interesting connection with Australia, and he wants to help the flood victims. So we'll go inside and see what's going on. Okay, so we're here in the gallery at the Hoagland Center for the Arts. We're at the book launching of Emo's Great Story. Here's the author, Brendhan Garland. We'll be having an interview with him soon. Hi, Brendhan. Say hi to everybody on Worldwide Good News. We'll talk to you when you're not busy.
Yeah, Jeff Garland is my name, and Brendhan is my son. And he started this book, doing it since he... I guess the book really started when he was 5, really. It just never got written until he was 15. But with People to People Sent, it's an organization that does student ambassador programs, and they do leadership work with the students before they leave. So the students get to come together, and they really want you to do a community involvement project where you start to get the community aware of what's going on around the world if you're going to travel to that location. So he decided to write this children's book, which is basically his story about when he was a kid, and he would read that to kids, inspire the children, but also connect it into the things, especially now as he was writing it, now with the flooding and the earthquake, it really means a lot to him. And it was the same thing with Steve Irwin. It's all tied in, and I'm really seeing it start to flesh out because he decided to do this donations for the flood relief and the earthquake.
Tell me a little bit about his connection with Australia, the interesting connection that he felt with the crocodile hunter.
Yeah, when he was probably even less than 5, I mean 5 is just a good target date, but when he was 4, he 3, 4, the crocodile hunter was on, and he was mesmerized with Steve Irwin. He just became mesmerized not only by Steve Irwin, but by what Steve Irwin was doing. And then he started informing me and letting me know that the animals that were starting to be saved. I try to tell people that he's been saving since he was 5, but he really did. He sold, the grass reeds and rocks out in front since he was 5. Anything that seemed like value to a child, Steve Irwin showed the value and the worth of everything. So he saw the worth in everything. So he started to start this fundraiser, and it's now you can see that it's blossomed into a lot more. At 10, when we were going to send him to Australia, Steve Irwin passed away. Steve Irwin died, and that crushed him. You know, it's a powerful moment when your son is crying in a room because a TV hero passes away. But it was more than that to him. He knew it was his journey to Australia. That was his journey to Australia, and now he was gone. So that meant his journey was done. And so he read Terry Irwin's book. I don't remember how many months later, Terry wrote that book, and she said, the hero's dream doesn't die. And he realized, well, my dream doesn't have to die. And then that's what the whole book's about.
So it's kind of rooted in community activism and environmentalism and kind of the seeds of peace, would you say?
I would definitely say that. Absolutely. Because, I mean, the more that you start to recognize his community involvement, he's really starting to acknowledge and understand more about the relationship between humans just in general, everywhere. You know, he's so excited about going to the Aboriginal village in Australia. That's something that he didn't even see that connection right away until they started talking about people to people. And what a great experience to see these people that have lived in a certain way and to see the beliefs that they have and to respect that.
Yeah.
And to respect everybody's beliefs. So if that's not tied to peace, I don't know what it is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if our viewers want to contact Brendhan to have him come speak at their school or do a book reading,
sure.
Where do they go?
www.emosgreatstory.com.
He's coming to the 8th Annual Isles Writers Conference on April 29th.
He is. And Felicia also.
Yay.
Yeah, the illustrator.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, thank you for your interview.
You bet. Thank you.
Brendhan's going to read in a minute, and his father is an artist and works in expanded metals. So I just wanted to show you a couple of the characters of the book, Poacher and Emo. So here are the characters in expanded metal. How cool is that? I wish you could see them in person. You just got to see these.
My name is Brendhan Garland, and I'm going to be reading Emo's Great Story. The main character is a groundhog, because my birthday is on February 2nd. You guys know what February 2nd is? Groundhog's Day, yep. So I'm a groundhog in this book. Tisha Olin, she's over there doing one of the illustrations. She also did the illustrations in this book.
Brandon, tell us a little bit about your connection with Australia, your connection with Steve Irwin, a bit about what the book's about.
I wanted to go to Australia ever since I was 5, and I watched The Crocodile Hunter on TV. Just wanted to see the country that he loved.
And what did you find compelling about the crocodile hunter? What attracted you to him?
His passion for the animals and his love for the zoo that he builds, which is what I want to do when I grow up too, become a zookeeper. So all the characters in the book are actually named after animals from the Australia Zoo. So.
And any connection with Steve Irwin at all?
Yeah, like the great crocodile is Steve Irwin.
Okay.
Resembles him.
So it's kind of dedicated to him.
Yes.
And his vision for kind of conservation, respect for the planet, respect for animals.
Yeah.
So if our viewers want to contact you for book readings or to buy your books, where can they go?
emosgreatstory@hotmail.com is the email, and then also emosgreatstory.com.
Okay, thanks, Brandon. Good luck with your book.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to having you at Isles at our Writers' Conference. You want to talk a little bit about your inspiration for the characters or your work, your artwork in the book?
Yeah, basically I was at a First Friday event. It's downtown at the Prairie Art Alliance, and I was painting like little animals on masonite, and Jeff approached me to do the book, and that was a Friday night, and I was already, doing speed painting, and I was already doing animals, so I was in that zone of thinking, and he was like, okay, well, if you do this, what kind of time frame would you need? I was like, oh, probably not before the end of July. I mean, because I've got another show coming up, and I've got this one that's here, and he was like, well, I need it Tuesday. So I was just like, that's insane. I just did it. By Tuesday at 1 o'clock, I was handing him like a CD of all the images, and I didn't have time to think. I barely had time to read it. I barely had time to think about what I was doing. So it was definitely an in the zone, emotional,
inspired
thing. Yeah. Thinking it was going to be hard to stop doing it towards the end because I didn't want to stop. I mean, I wanted to keep going. The thing was like overthought. And I think when you do overthink things, you kind of mess it up for yourself.
Right. What kind of message through your art do you want people to take away from the book? Just through the pictures.
I really tried to think about how each character was emotionally going through it.
Some environmental issues, maybe a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely with capturing animals, and when the great crocodile talks about the barrier reef in it, that people have been touching the coral and it was killing the coral. I mean, that's an important message to get out. That
respect the planet, kind of.
Right. Yeah. And that message is very strong for that.
Well, thanks for your time.